Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. It's a video I'd filmed a while ago, and if you follow me on Instagram you'll probably have seen all the photos of everything done. But I finally got some time and decided to piece it all together. We'll be installing some Bride seats. I got a Bride Brix 1.5 and a Bride Ergo 1.5. Got some G Corporation checkered floor mats, a brand new Nardi 340mm steering wheel, HKB Boss kit, Yashio Factory shift knob and handbrake button, and a Yashio Factory Okachan water temp meter. Also got some Bride fabric, so we'll do the door trims and get it all matching all nice. If you follow me on Instagram, you know how much I love interior tuning, so this is an important video for me. But before we get into anything, let's talk about inspiration. This is a photo of the Garage Thrash S15 interior. I actually had this photo on an old hard drive named myinterior.jpg from many years ago, so big inspiration. Obviously another really big inspiration is Taniguchi-san's red S15. Everything from the door trims, the Caro floor mats, the Yashio Factory Okachan water temp meter, everything just goes so well. I really do love this car a lot. And it's pretty cool that he does run the red seats with the black radiation door trims. Looks cool. I think this is also one of Taniguchi-san's cars. This was a good reference for me to work out how to do the door trim, so pretty sweet. Carmake T&E Vertex S15. Love the seats and I love the floor mats. And this again is another inspiration to get light coloured floor mats, so they do contrast. One thing I do want to discuss about these old Bride Brix and Ergos is a lot of people think they were released from the factory in like a blue or purple colour. This isn't the case. They were all released black from the factory. If you have a look at the old advertisements, they just listed as a black colour. Now, the reason they are blue or purple these days is because the dye that they had used for the fabric was actually a very dark blue or purple. And obviously when that fades, it fades to a light purple. That's why you can see different brides fade at different levels depending on how much sun they've got. But if you do have a look in the side cushion, you will see that they all are pretty black. So there, they are black. There was no blues, no purples released from the factory. Alright, let's start tearing everything out. Here I am pulling the passenger seat out. It's pretty boring, nothing really that exciting, but it does have 4 bolts. I think they're 14mm bolts. There's 2 at the front and 2 at the back. Yeah, there's the back bolt. I thought it was going to be a pretty quick job to get everything done that day, but it ended up taking a lot longer than I'd expected. Yeah, because I put the Bride seat in previously. The interior is surprisingly clean for the age. I mean, it's 25 years old. Everything's pretty good, except for there is a rip in the carpet, as you can see there, right next to the pedal. I'll have to tackle that sometime, but it's not something I really want to do anytime soon. I also express how hard it is to find a bottom mount Bride Brix Ergo rail for the passenger side. It's a bit of a tricky one because I know that they're really not worth that much money and they're just rare. So I hunted around for a while. I managed to find a driver's side bottom mount rail, but nothing came up for the passenger side. I ended up buying a brand new Duran Racing from Japan. Got it shipped via airmail. It came pretty quick. So I guess that's not too bad. And as you know, one popped up for sale, second hand for like $100, which kind of sucks, but oh well, what do you do? Removing S15 door trims is a pretty simple task. It's not too hard. It's just a little bit scary, just try not to break any of the clips. I got a little bit of help here from my dad, which does make it a little bit easier, but he's always good to have around to help. I know there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this. This was probably the easiest way for us. What we did was we started putting masking tape over the whole section of where the bride trim will go. This is to make a template so that we know what to cut out. So just give it a nice thick layer of masking tape. Once that's all done, use a thick Sharpie just to trace all the way around the trim. We're going to go wider and then we can just cut it where we need to.
You ready to take it out?
Yep. Once you've marked it all the way around, peel the whole thing off in one piece and you've got your template. Placement is very important, so I use the horizontal bride lines to make sure that it was consistent throughout the whole car on both of the door trims. So carefully place it down, line it up, as once you cut it, it's all done and you can't go back. So when you start your cutting, what I did was I allowed about a 10mm bleed around the pattern. The reason for this is that when you actually stick this fabric onto the door trim, that excess of about 10mm tucks into a little groove, so it ends up looking really, really neat. Try to get yourself a good pair of fabric scissors as well. It does make the job a lot easier. As you can see, when we pull the template off, it does fray the edges a little bit, but that's fine, we'll be able to trim that up. Alright, now for the daunting part. Spraying spray adhesive onto your door trims. A lot of people actually remove the fabric off their door trim before they spray this, but I decided to leave it on as apparently it's fine. Spray both sides, spray the door trim and the piece of fabric, as this adhesive does work well when it's sprayed from both ends. Now we just try and line it up as best possible, again giving that 10mm bleed on the outside and placing it down gently. Give it a bit of a press, and then hopefully that glue dries very soon. I use this little blue vinyl squeegee. It's designed for applying vinyl decals and all that. It kind of worked really well, tucking it into the little groove around the trim. So I just used that while the glue was still kind of wet. And then, as you can see, my dad decided to take over. I was going too slow with it. And I've got Steph here working on the other door trim while I go and do some other stuff on the car. The finished product does look really awesome, and I'm so happy with the way it came out. Alright, let's fit this Okachan water temperature meter. It's a really simple electronic. It just plugs straight into your ODB port and it'll give you a water temperature reading from the car. When I originally tested it out, I can see here that it had a bit of a loose connection and wasn't working properly. Let's secure it, mount it up and see how it goes. Moment of truth. Success. It's working all good. Alright, let's fit this Yashio Factory handbrake button. If you've ever done one of these before, they're pretty simple. Just remove your boot, and then there will be these two little metal tabs that are holding up your spring in the handbrake, which this allows the button to retract in and out.
Okay.
Once you release these two little tabs, the spring will drop to the bottom of the handbrake and your handbrake button will permanently be in until you can pull it out. Slide your handbrake boot back on and get ready to install the button. Now what happens is you put the button directly onto the original handbrake button and hammer it on. Now do not be like me. I used a towel with a regular hammer and then I just went straight onto it. Do not do this. Use a rubber mallet. My handbrake button does now have chips on the end of it, which is a little bit annoying, but thankfully you can't see it. Once the handbrake button is hammered on, it will hit the end where it can no longer be hammered on anymore. And it's installed. Pretty much the way you engage it is just pull it out and push it back in when you want to drop it. If anyone doesn't know, this is so when you are drifting, it does make it that little bit easier than when you're pulling up the handbrake. It doesn't stay up. Alright, time to install this Yashio Factory shift knob. Now the Yashio Factory shift knob it's nice because it does have a little collar that does attach to your gear boot, which is pretty cool. A lot of the other ones like the Nismo Duracons don't actually have this, which is a little bit of a pain as the gear boot tends to just drop. Thankfully my car came with a gear boot that was in pretty good condition, so I didn't really need to change that. Screw it all the way on as tight as you can. Keep going until you cannot go any further. And once that is all completely on, you're ready to put your sticker on. This is a little gel sticker that does go on the top of it. It's got the H pattern, because I believe it's a legality in a lot of countries that you have to display that, but make sure it is put on straight and your shift knob is completely tightened as much as it can be. If it's not, you will get these really annoying vibrations when you're at high RPM, which kind of sucks. Alright, let's start putting everything back together and put the car into the garage as it's getting cold and the sun's going down. Alrighty, back at it again. I didn't film when we installed the driver's side and the passenger side seat, but here I am doing the last bolt and getting it all ready. The G Corporation floor mats are actually so nice. The quality is really good and they do look awesome. I do believe it comes in a 5-piece set, 2 at the front and then 3 at the back. With the seat rails, I couldn't really put the rear floor mats in, so I just left them out. Alright, time to take the steering wheel off and install the Nardi. Whatever you guys do when removing airbag units or steering wheels, please remove the terminal from your battery. The last thing you want is to end up with a airbag in the face while you're doing this. So I think there is some like 10mm bolts on the sides, and then there's the center nut. When you're removing the center nut, don't do it all the way off. Loosen it a few turns, and then once it's cracked, you can literally just wriggle the wheel off and then it'll just come off and not, again, fly and hit you in the face. And just like that, it's all off. The HKB Boss kit does include a solenoid that plugs into your airbag, and this is supposed to bypass the airbag light on your dash, so it won't permanently be on. And of course, after testing, it doesn't work. So you do what every other person does and you jump on YouTube to try and find a way around it. There is a service sequence that you can do that does restart the cluster. After playing around with that for a little bit, it ended up working and it came off. Didn't manage to get any more footage from the night, but I did take a few photos once everything was done. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. It's crazy how something, you know, like so small, like putting seats, floor mats, steering wheel in, can really just change the whole aesthetic of the car. Literally feels like I'm driving a completely different car now. Door trims look great, everything is just awesome. I do have a bunch more parts that I'm looking at installing very soon, including a bunch of electronics, but I guess we'll just have to wait for another video to do that. I just want to say a quick thanks to everyone who watches the videos and sends me messages on Instagram. It honestly feels like no one watches these, but it's just so humbling and awesome when people tell me they're following it, so I really do appreciate it, and I guess I'll see you in the next video.